Hi everyone, today in this Bin to Yin we're going to be doing a lot of hip opening, hamstring lengthening, and balancing. You are going to need a block and a strap today for this practice. And we'll get started. Okay, so starting laying down on our backs, bring the soles of our feet together to touch, knees come out to the sides. And you can just bring your arms out to the sides. You can also bring them out into a T shape, just really opening through the shoulders and the chest. Closing your eyes and allowing yourself to become fully immersed within this space. Breathing into the belly, into the lungs. Filling those spaces and fully releasing out through the nose. Feeling the texture of the mat beneath your body. Knowing that beneath your mat, the earth is holding you. Allowing any worries of what may happen in the future or anything that you've been thinking about that has happened in the past fall away as we bring our focus into the here and now. Today, throughout our practice, we're going to be moving through many poses of hip openers, and hip openers can be very challenging poses. They can be challenging for the body and the mind. And so as we move through this practice today, knowing that you can always bring your focus back to your breath. Your breath is your anchor. No matter where you are, no matter what you are doing, you can always take that step back and come into your breath. And taking one more full round of breath here. Start to gently blink the eyes open. Bring your knees up to the sky and then lengthen your left leg long onto the mat. And this is where you're going to grab your strap. So if your strap isn't near you, go ahead and grab it. And you're going to take that strap and place it onto the outside of your right foot. So just bringing that knee into your chest, wrapping the strap onto the outside of the foot and flexing through both feet here, engaging through the muscles of both legs. And then start to lengthen your right heel up to the sky here. And you can place the strap in both hands or just one hand, whatever you're most comfortable with right now. Really breathing into the back of your leg. Notice that that is where you feel the sensation in your body. And that sensation is neither good nor bad. It is just a part of this moment. And we'll bring that strap into the right hand if it isn't already there. And you can place your left hand onto your left hip bone as you start to open the right foot up towards the right side. So you're going to open that hip, and maybe your left hip starts to pop up. That's why your hand is there to help you bring it back down. And noticing where you feel the sensation here. And then imagine your breath being directed into those spaces. On your next inhale, we'll come back to center. We'll switch hands. So the strap's going to come into your left hand now. And we're going to cross over the body. So if you want, you can slide a little bit over to the right side of your mat. And then start to cross that right foot over the left side. And maybe your right hand comes out to the side in your T-shape or your cactus arm. You can also look over your right fingertips here, helping you stretch a little through the sides of the neck. Good, and then we'll come back to center. And we'll bend in the left knee, so the sole of the foot's touching the ground again. And then place the outer edge of your right foot on top of your left thigh, releasing the strap from the foot. We're going to come into supine pigeon. So start to lift your left foot off of the ground, and you can interlace your fingers behind your left leg. As you inhale, bring your left knee in towards you and your right knee out and away from your body. And you can still flex through your feet here, especially through your right foot, helping to protect your ankle. And follow the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, left knee in towards you. Exhale, right knee out and away from you. And as you exhale, we'll start to unwind and release that right leg along onto the mat as we switch sides. So the left knee is going to come into the chest. You're going to wrap that strap around the outside of your left foot and start to lengthen the heel up to the sky. Again, breathing into the hamstrings, into the back of the leg. You can imagine a string coming from the ceiling into your heel, that heel pulling up into the ceiling. And placing the strap into your left hand, we'll start to open to the left side, placing that right hand onto your right hip bone. Trying to maintain some evenness within the hips. Good, and we'll start to come back to center. Bring the strap into your right hand, and then cross over the body, maybe sliding to the opposite side of your mat first. And you can feel a sensation in a lot of different areas of the body in this pose. And just taking some time to create that awareness of where you feel it. Moving back to center, bending in your right knee and coming into your supine pigeon on the other side. When you're ready, lifting that right foot off of the ground, interlacing your fingers. And if your hands don't touch here, you can also take your strap and wrap your strap around the back of your leg and hold on to the edges of the strap. If you notice that you're a little tighter on this side than the other side, maybe that's a good option for you here. Following that rhythm of your breath. Inhale, right knee in towards you. Exhale, left knee out and away from you. Every breath has a movement. Every movement has a breath. we'll start to unwind. And from here, we'll bring both knees into the chest. And we're going to come into some circles with our legs. So you can keep your hands onto the fronts of your shins, or you can place them onto the backs of the legs. We're going to bring our knees over to the right, and then out and away from the body, over to the left, and then in towards the belly. We'll do just a few more circles in this direction. And you feel this massage of the lower back as you do this. And once your knees come back to center, start to change direction. Good, and then bringing those knees back to center, and we'll just roll over to one side as we come into our tabletop facing the top of the mat. You can just lay your strap to the side for now. Hands come underneath the shoulders, knees come underneath the hips. As you inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze, and as you exhale, round through your spine. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, round through. Inhale, lift, and exhale, round. Coming back into your neutral spine, we're going to lengthen the right leg long behind us, left hand reaches forward, find that center, that core, and start to stabilize through it. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, bring your elbow in towards your knee, round through the spine, and then inhale, open back up. Exhale, round through. Inhale, open. Exhale, round through. Inhale, open, and you can stay right here, or you can start to bend in your right knee, reach your left hand back behind you, grab the inside of your ankle, and then pull your chest forward as you push your foot back into your hand. Really feeling the top of your quadriceps stretch here, creating a healthy back bend by opening through the chest. And as we exhale, release back down into your tabletop. And do the same thing on the opposite side. So you'll start to lengthen the left leg long, right arm reaches forward, find your core center, and as you exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, lengthen back out. Exhale, round through. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen, bend in the left knee, reach towards your foot, and if you can't fully reach that foot yet, that is okay, just reaching towards it, creating that back bend still, pulling the chest forward as we push the foot back. And as you exhale, release back down. And we'll start to walk the hands slightly forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and come into your first downward facing dog of the practice. We're going to inhale, come up onto the toes, and then exhale, bring the heels down towards the mat. Do this 2 more times. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Exhale, bring those heels back down. Inhale, up onto the toes. And exhale, release those heels back down. Inhale, start to lift the right leg up and back. Bend in the knee and open up your hip. Feel that right hip bone roll up to the sky as we keep that left heel pulling down towards the ground. And lengthen through the right leg. Bring that foot in between your hands. And then release your left knee down. We're going to come into a low lunge here. When you're ready, arms come up to freeing the ears. Feeling the tailbone root down towards the earth. Feeling the pelvis come heavy towards the floor. And as you exhale, release the hands down. Start to pull the hips back as you lengthen through the front leg. Inhale, heart to toes. Exhale, chin to shin. Finding lots of space throughout the spine as we inhale and folding as we exhale. Good. And then from here, we're going to grab our block and our strap. So make sure those are handy for you for the next couple of poses. So from here, we're going to start to come down onto our seat. So you're going to shift that left foot forward and come into your half butterfly here, or half cobbler's pose. And as you inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Slightly twist over the right leg, and then exhale, fold. Your hands can come onto the sides of the foot. You can also use your strap here if you'd like, placing the strap onto the outer edge of the foot. So finding your variation today. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Breathing into the back of the leg. And as you exhale, softening through. And on your next inhale, we'll come up to center. We're going to come into what's called heron pose here. So we're going to take our block and your left leg is going to come back behind you, and you're going to sit down onto that block. And if it hurts your knee to bend in your knee like this, you can always lengthen your leg out in front of you. Okay, so trying to bring that left heel to sit on, and we're going to take our strap and place it underneath the foot, and then start to lift that right leg up. Good. And from here, you can keep that knee in line with your ankle, or you can start to lengthen the leg up. Pulling your heart towards your chest so you're not rounding or leaning back. And lots of breath, lots of space in the back leg. Good, and as you exhale, we'll release, and we'll release that block from underneath of us, and we'll come back into our downward facing dog. You can shake it out a little bit, release that left knee, and we'll move over to the other side. So your left leg's going to come up and back, bend in the knee, open up your hip. And lengthen through that left leg, bring the foot in between your hands and release that right knee down. Coming back into your low lunge stance. Remember that left knee is stacked on top of your ankle. When you're ready, arms come up to frame the ears. Feeling that stretch in the front of your hips. If you're feeling any pinching in the left side, you can always come up and pull out of it a little bit. And use your breath to help you move a little deeper. And releasing the hands back down, we'll come into our half splits here, lengthening through the front leg. And think about pulling that left femur bone up into your hip socket so that you can find some evenness within your hips here. Good, and we'll start to come onto our seat, so bring that right foot in front of you a little bit so that you can bring it onto the inside of your left thigh. As you inhale, arms rise up, slightly twist, and then exhale, fold. Again, you can use your strap here if you did on the other side. And we'll come back up through center, and we'll come into heron pose on the other side. So your left foot is going to come to the center first, and then your right ankle is going to come back behind you. So it's like a half hero's pose. You're sitting on your heel here, and then you're going to use your block to help balance you out and place that block onto your left glute here. And then you can start to take that strap, bend in your left knee, and then bring that foot up. And maybe this is where you stay, just trying to find your balance here. You're engaging through your core to help you stabilize. And you can also start to lengthen through the leg. So again, find your variation. Breathe into where you feel the sensations. Keep the spine nice and long, shoulders down the back. And as you exhale, release back down, unwind, release that block, and we'll come back into our downward facing dog. And this time we're going to inhale, right leg lifts up and back, bend in the knee, open up the hip here. And we're going to come into wild thing here. So you can stay right here, or you can start to come into wild thing by placing your right foot onto the outside of the left, bending in that right knee, and then lengthening your left leg long. As you lift your hips, lift your heart, and reach the right fingertips forward. Good, and then come back into a three-legged down dog here. And then bring your right foot in between your hands, spiral down your back heel as we come into our warrior two. Bending deeply in that front knee, arms come into your teeth. And then as you inhale, come up onto your right toes, lift your heel, and then exhale, release down. Inhale, come up onto your toes, exhale, release down. Inhale, come up onto your toes, and exhale, release back down. Right palm flips up, we'll reverse our warrior here. And as you exhale, we'll come into extended side angle. Right forearm comes on top of the right thigh. Left fingertips reach forward. And we'll start to come back up. Lengthen through the front leg and make your way into triangle. So reach that right hand forward. You can use your block here if you'd like. Giving you a little bit of lift as you lengthen through the sides of the body, and then reach your left hand up to the sky. Maybe looking up here. And if you don't already have your block, go ahead and grab your block. We're going to start to move into half moon pose. So you're going to bend in your knee a little bit here as you walk your block onto the outside of your pinky toe, and then keep walking it further and further forward as you start to lift your left leg up and back behind you. Flex through that foot. Again, think about that string coming from your heel and pulling out towards the wall behind you. And then you can start to lift that left hand up to the sky. And as you exhale, we'll start to release back down into our warrior two. And cartwheel your hands down. We'll take our first vinyasa of the practice. So pull your right foot back, lower all the way down onto the belly. Release the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, release. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, left leg rises up and back. Bend in the knee, open up the hip here. And if you went into wild thing on the other side, you can start to come there now as well. So bending that left knee, right leg is long, lift the hips, lift the heart, left hand reaches forward. We're stacking our right shoulder on top of our right wrist. And we're breathing fully in and out of the body. And as you exhale, unwind. Three-legged down dog, and bring the left foot in between the hands and open up into your warrior two. Good. Lifting the left heel off of the ground, coming up onto your toes, and bringing it back down. Inhale, lift, exhale down, inhale, lift, exhale down. Left palm flips up, right hand releases as we reverse through. Breathing through the side body. And exhale, extended side angle. Good. Really feel that right shoulder roll back behind the ear. And inhale, coming back up, straight through the front leg. Move into your triangle pose. Reach that left hand forward as far as you can. And then place it onto the inside or the outside of your ankle. Maybe grab your block. Inhale, feel yourself pull up and out through the sides of the rib cage. And exhale, roll the left rib cage up to the sky. Good. And if you don't have your block, go ahead and grab it. And we'll start to move into our half moon pose here. Start to walk that left, or the block, to the outside of your left foot. And lift that right leg up. I'm trying to lift that right foot in line with your hip here, or even a little higher. That right hip bone is trying to roll up to the sky, just like we do in our bent knee and our three-legged down dog. And just take your time. Breathe through it. Good. And we'll exhale, we'll release back down into our warrior two. And we'll take our vinyasa. Cartwheel the hands down. Step back. You can lower all the way down, or you can go into half or full chaturanga dandasana. Inhale into your cobra or your upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg up and back, bend in the knee, open up the hip, and then come into knee circles here. So bringing your knee in one direction 3 times, and then in the opposite direction. And lengthening through the leg, we'll bring that foot in between the hands, spiral down your back heel, and come up into your warrior one stance. So heel to heel alignment, left hip bone pulls forward to meet the right. Good. And then from here, we're going to bring that left foot forward to meet the right, come into your chair pose. And on your exhale, bring your hands back behind you and come up onto your toes. And then sit back down, inhale. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lift up. And inhale, come back into your chair. Come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we're going to move into some more balancing. So we're going to take our strap here. And we're going to move into Dandiyamana Janu Shirshasana, or head to knee pose. So you're going to lengthen through both legs, lift up onto the kneecaps, and then start to root down through your left foot as we bend in the right knee and start to lift that knee up into the chest. And then take your strap, place it onto the outside of the foot, and you can grab onto it with whatever hand you want. And then we're going to start to lengthen that right leg out in front of us. So maybe this is where you stay today, trying to maintain your balance here. Or you can start to lengthen your head towards your toes, and then exhale, fold over the leg. Find your focus, find your breath. If you fall out of it, you can come right back in. Good. And then bring that knee back into your chest. Keep the strap exactly how it is. Place that strap in your right hand. We're going to bring that right foot back behind us. Start to pull the chest forward. And then maybe catch raindrops with that left hand, lifting that left hand up and forward in front of us, coming into dancer with the strap. One more round of breath. And as you exhale, release and release the strap. Shake it out. We'll come back into our mountain pose. And as we inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into your plank, move through your Vinyasa. And on your next inhale, lift that left leg up and back, bend in your knee, open up your hip, and move into your knee circles. 3 in one direction, and 3 in the opposite direction. And when you're ready, lengthening that leg back behind you, bring the left foot in front of you, and move into your warrior 1. Finding that slight bend in your front knee. Arms come up to frame the ears, palms are facing each other. Just taking a moment to be exactly here in this pose. And we're going to bring that right foot forward to meet the left, come into your chair pose. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. So on your exhale, hands behind you, come up onto your toes. Inhale, chair. Exhale, come up. Inhale, chair. Exhale, come up. And inhale, chair. Come all the way up to standing, hands to heart center. And we're going to come back into our first balancing pose. So bringing our right foot to root down. And then left knee comes into the chest. We'll take that strap and place it onto the outside of the foot. And maybe you want to stay right here. Or you start to lengthen that foot in front of you. And then maybe start to find your fold. Pull the heart towards your toes, and then start to fold over the leg. Use your breath as your anchor. And it'll bring that knee back into our chest. Strap comes into the left hand, and then we'll start to bring that foot back behind us. Hold that foot up, press the foot back into the strap, and then pull your chest forward, coming into your dancer with your strap. Trying to find that healthy back bend. And then as you exhale, release, let go, shake it out. We'll come back into our mountain as we inhale, arms rise. As we exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into your plank, move through your Vinyasa. And on your next inhale, right leg rises. And on your exhale, we're going to bring our right foot behind our left wrist, coming into our pigeon pose, or in yin, it's called our swan pose. So you can take that right knee and bring it a little bit out to the side so that it's not directly in line with the hip, or you can keep it in line with the hip, whatever feels better for you. Your right toes are probably going to be coming in towards your body, so just roll gently to the top of your foot. And you can stay right here on your hands. You can also take your block and place it underneath your right glute here. Scooching that left foot back behind you a little more, trying to release that right side a little lower, while also bringing that left hip bone towards the ground. So you can stay right here. This is where we're going to start our yin practice today. So you can stay right here on your hands, or you can start to come down onto your forearms, or you can place your forehead onto your block to release the back of your neck and your shoulders. You can also go all the way down to your forehead touching the mat. We're going to hold this pose. We're not going to hold it as long as we normally hold a yin pose. Just taking our time to find the variation that we can hold without pain. If you are on your forearms, or your forehead is down onto your block or onto the mat. Think about inhaling, lengthening the crown of your head forward so that you still create some space within your chest. And then exhale, soften down. Taking 5 more rounds of breath here. Can you focus on your breath and the quality of your breath without focusing so much on, okay, this is my 5th breath, I'm done now. Allowing yourself to be here with your breath. On your next inhale, start to come up onto your hands if you aren't already here. We're going to start to roll over to the right side and bring our left knee in line with our right ankle. So this is called deer pose in yin. And I'll flip around so you can see me. So your right foot is in front and you're bending at a 90-degree angle, or as much as you can. And then your left knee is in line with your right heel, and that is in line with your left heel. So again, trying to do another 90-degree bend, or as much as you can here. And you can stay right here. You can also come back onto your hands and roll back a little bit more. And as you do that, you can feel a deeper stretch right here in the top of your left hip. So take some time to settle into this pose so that you can hold it. You can close your eyes and imagine your breath as a color that is soothing and gentle to you. And as you inhale, breathe that color into the spaces where you feel sensation. And as you exhale, you can breathe out a different color, not releasing stress and tension from the body. On your next inhale, start to come back to center if you aren't here already. And then bring that left foot to come up so that the sole of the foot touches the right. We're going to come into butterfly pose. So you can stay here. You can also take your block here and sit on it, helping to elevate your hips and roll them forward if you'd like in this pose. As we start to hold these poses a little longer, make adjustments to be a little more comfortable within them. And in our Vinyasa practice, we always bring our heels in towards our body, and that helps to lengthen through the muscles. But we're going to bring our feet out and away from the body to help lengthen through our tendons and our ligaments. So So as you inhale, lift and lengthen, and as you exhale, start to fold. You have a little more rounding in your spine here if you'd like. And place your hands on the insides of the feet or the outsides of the feet with your palms facing up. Coming into the mind, noticing your thoughts like you are watching a movie. When you watch a movie, you sit back and you observe it. It's the same thing that we want to be able to do with our thoughts. Sit back, watch them, observe them, without taking in any real action towards them. We don't want to be fully immersed or consumed within those thoughts. We just want to be able to watch them, explore them a little bit, maybe notice how many times that certain thoughts been within the mind. And know that it is just energy. Chittavrittis means the chatter of the mind. The mind is usually chattering. It's not really saying a lot that matters. It's just little movies of things that have happened in the past, or scenarios of things that might happen in the future. So allowing yourself to notice and acknowledge them. Taking some time to come back to the breath before you get really caught up within them. As you inhale, we'll slowly start to lift ourselves back up. And if you have a block, you can release it. And we're going to go into deer pose on the other side. So bringing the left knee in front, and then the right leg back behind it. We're flexing through both feet here. Again, finding those 90-degree bends in both knees. And you may notice that you're leaning a lot to the left. Try and find evenness on both sides. And then you can stay right here, sitting tall, or you can start to bring your hands back behind you and lean back a little more. And again, you can come back to your color breathing, creating that internal roadmap of your body. And using your breath to help you do that. Taking in 3 more rounds of breath here. And making your way back up to center. We're going to take this right leg and lengthen it back behind us as we come into our pigeon pose with our left leg in front of us. So again, you can bring that knee out to the side a little more, rolling to the top of your foot if your foot is coming in towards your body. And then pull both of your hip bones forward and down before you start to fold down. So find the variation that you did on the other side, folding on the inside of the left knee. So making sure that knee is on the outside of your left elbow. And as you inhale, think about lengthening the chest, the crown of the head, the hips all forward. And as you exhale, soften and release down. And that can be your focus throughout the entire pose. And that makes this pose a sort of meditation. Focusing fully on what is happening within the present moment by allowing your breath to help you. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, release. And on your next inhale, start to make your way back up onto your hands. We're going to bring both of our feet out in front of us, so we're lengthening through both legs. And we're going to take our block, and as we lower down onto the mat with our backs, we're going to bend in the knees and then place that block underneath our sacrum, that lower part of your back. And you can stay right here, or you can start to lengthen your legs out in front of you. And you can also start to bring your arms up and overhead. So this is bridge pose in our yin practice. Coming into your variation, finding your depth, finding your stillness, and finding your hold. bridge pose in our yin practice. Coming into your variation, finding your depth, finding your stillness, and finding your hold. Slowly start to bend in your knees, bring your arms back down to your sides, and release the block from underneath of you as you move into your Shavasana. On your next inhale, start to deepen your breath. Moving through your fingers and your toes. And bending in your knees, starting to roll over to one side. And making your way up into your comfortable seated position. Thank you for sharing in this practice today. The light within me honors and sees the light within you. Namaste.